Welcome to 2minenglish.com, teaching you English through 2-minute lessons. In this lesson, we will learn expressions that you can use while talking about the house chores.
I'm tired of doing the same thing every day, day after day.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about my home chores. Could you assign me something else?
Well, that's not a bad idea. What about mowing the lawn? Would you like to do that?
Mowing the lawn? That's really hard work. Don't you have something easier?
Can you vacuum the carpets?
Yes, I think I can do that. When do I start?
Was I born just to take care of this house and keep it clean?
What happened to you? Why do you look so mad?
We have a party in a couple of days, and none of you guys are helping me.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was an important game on the TV and I wanted to watch it.
I gave up a get-together with my friends to do all of this work, and all you want to do is watch a game.
I am sorry, Deborah. Let me lend you a hand. What do you want me to do?
Martin is going on a week-long work-related trip this Monday.
Oh, so you're going to be handling the kids all by yourself?
Yes, it'll be just the children and me in the house.
Won't you have any trouble managing alone? There's a lot of work to be done.
I know, the housework and the kids who have to be dropped off at school too. It's going to be a tough week.
I think it's time for the spring cleaning. We need to give this house a makeover.
Yeah, we need to clean it up thoroughly.
We should go into the attic and just throw away some of the old stuff.
Right, I can do that. Will you take care of the bedrooms?
Sure, I'll clean up the bedrooms and you can clean up the basement and the attic.
Deal. I'm tired of doing the same thing every day, day after day. Could you assign me something else?
What about mowing the lawn? Can you vacuum the carpets?
Was I born just to take care of this house and keep it clean?
Let me lend you a hand.
There's a lot of work to be done. Won't you have any trouble managing alone? I think it's time for the spring cleaning. I'll clean up the bedrooms and you can clean up the basement and the attic.
So, welcome back. So, in these videos, these guys were talking about chores or housework. So, each house has a lot of housework to do. Okay? So, like, what's your responsibility in the house? What do you do in the house? So, that's a question. So, let's ask this question. So, what do you do in the house? So, what are the responsibilities in the house? So in the house we have lots of responsibilities. Okay? Like, for example, like sweeping the floor. What's sweep? So I sweep the floor. Now that's an introduction for chores. Now let's take another introduction about something like chores. Is errands. Okay? So let's see what are the errands. Let's write the word errand.
Running errands.
Hi there. How can I help you?
Well, I'm in town visiting for a few days, and I need to get some things done while I'm here.
Sure. What do you need?
I need to get my hair cut. I also need to have my new pants hemmed.
Okay, here's a map of the city. There's a good hair salon here, which is just a block away, and there's a tailor right here. Is there anything else?
Yes, I'll need to have my car serviced before my long drive home.
No problem. There's a good mechanic a few blocks away.
Language notes. Hi there. Notice the intonation in this greeting. It rises after hi and falls after there. Sure is a friendly expression to mean okay. Get my hair cut, have my new pants hemmed, have my car serviced. Notice get, have, plus object, plus participle. This structure is used to describe actions that someone else does for us. Get and have are interchangeable here. Is there anything else? Here means, do you need more information? Before my long drive home. Notice the emphasis and intonation on home. The speaker wants to show humor here. If she doesn't get her car checked, she might not get home. She wants to be friendly and light with the receptionist. No problem here means don't worry. Notice the stress on no. The receptionist laughs first, then puts emphasis on no by lengthening the word. This shows that she understands the car could break down if it doesn't get serviced.
Now, we understand now that chores or housework are inside the house. Errands are outside the house. Example, in the housework, like for example, I clean the floor. Outside, I buy food. That's errands. In the housework, I vacuum. You know what's vacuum? You know, cleaning the floor but with electrical vacuum. So, in the other side that we have errands, like we can go and drop the college, and we will talk about that more inshallah in the future. Okay? Now let's discuss something about one of the tenses we actually took. Now let's discuss this. This tense, present continuous or present progressive, is talking about something happening now. Okay? Now, let's give an example for something. For this. I'm meeting you tomorrow at 8. What is tomorrow? Tomorrow. We said that the present continuous is talking about now. Now, before we start with this, we need to understand something important. What is the future? Now we talked about the present simple, present continuous, and past simple, but we didn't talk about the future. So let's talk about the future. So before this, we need to talk about future. Future. What's the future? Something will happen in the future. Will happen. Not happen yet, so it will happen. Give an example. Of course, we have first, we will talk about the future simple. Okay, so future simple. That's the first thing we talk about. What is the future? Now, of course, as we agreed before, we don't memorize rules, we understand what it is. So let's understand. Now, future simple. Let's put it like this. Let's put a sentence. Okay? I will travel tomorrow, or I will travel, let's say, not tomorrow, I'll travel next week. Okay? So I will travel next week. Let's go and write another sentence. I'm going to travel next week. So, I will travel next week. I'm going to travel next week. Now, let's focus on this part. This part. This part. So here, both of them are for the future. But what's the difference between them? Now, they're like this. Now, let's think about them like, okay? Now, I will travel next week. I'm going to travel next week. Both of them are future. But there is a small difference between them. If we're talking about the first one here, that's I took the decision. I took the decision. So I took the decision that I will travel next week. I took the decision. But there is something I have to notice. It's still a maybe. Yes, true, I took the decision. But maybe I will travel and maybe no. So it's maybe yes, maybe no. So that's the question. Now let's go for the second one. The second one, I took the decision and prepared myself. I took the decision and prepared myself. That means what? I have the tickets, I have the luggage, I have everything, and I'm going to travel. So here I have what? Yes. Here I have a plan. So it's a maybe, that's a plan. So that's the difference between them in the future. And if we want to talk about the timeline, so we would say what? Here you have past, present, future. Now where is that? Yes, it will happen here. So it's here. Something will happen here in the future. So here it's next. And this is so here it's next. Something will happen in the future in a specific time. So if it's time, something will happen in the next week. And I have two kinds. I have a maybe. When I say I will, I'm going to, that means I plan already. Now we have a case here. Let's say I'm meeting you, or I'm traveling next week. I'm traveling next week. Okay, we understand that the present continuous is talking about, yes, it's talking about now. So this is the present continuous. Normally when I use the present continuous, I use it for now. But here, that's a special case. What's this case? Now, when we mention the future, that means the present continuous now is talking about the future. And it will be equal, this will be equal to who? This one. So, these will be. Again, so here we said that the present continuous is talking about something happening now and it's taking time. Okay. Sorry, we're back. Now, we faced the technical problem, but no problem. Now, let's go back to what we were talking about. Now, we were talking about something important. What's that important thing? We're talking about the present continuous. What did we say about the present continuous? The present continuous is a tense that is talking about now. Now, how about if I use that present continuous for talking about the future? Why or how? So that's the question. So I think, now I mentioned something related to the future. Next week, next month, tomorrow, next day. So all these are talking about future. So when I mention them with the present continuous, I change it into talking about the future, not talking about now. And it will be equal to this kind of tense. This kind of tense, which is a plan. I have a plan. I'm traveling next week. That means I'm sure. I already have the tickets. I already have everything for my traveling next week. Okay? So that's what we wanted to say about the present continuous. So the present continuous now, if we're trying to recap, can be used for two cases. The first case here, which is used for, yes, talking about now. Activities are happening now. The second thing that can be used for is, yes, pretty good. I talk about future. I talk about something might happen to the future. Now let's recap what we talked about today. Today we talked about different types of things. Different types of health problems, different types of body parts, and different types of other things. Now let's first we talked about body parts. We talked about different body parts, different things, different ideas about body parts. We have hand, we have elbow, and this is arm, and this is shoulder, this is upper arm, and so on. Then we have the head. We talked about eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, tongue, gum, chin, cheeks, ears, hair, mustache, and beard. Now, in my hand, I have 5 fingers, nails. We have thumb. We said B is silent. Thumb, We have index, middle, one, ring, and pinky. Very nice. Now, after that, we talked about some of the health problems that we suffer from. Sometimes I'm sick, I'm ill, I feel nauseous, I have a headache, I have a toothache, I have a earache, I have a stomach ache. Very nice. And sore throat. Very nice. Also, we talked about some healthy habits and other things. Then at the end, we mentioned some parts about chores and errands, and we'll talk about them and talk about the house in the future. Don't worry, to explain the whole thing. Maybe we actually were going to watch other videos and other things about chores and other things. Now, like, let's take this as an ending first. What's that thing? Now we will talk about some things we need to do when we learn English. Now, we've talked before in one of the sessions about how to learn English in a good way and how to learn English effectively. Now, the first thing you need to know about this, that listening is very important in English. Listening is one of the most important parts that's going to teach you English correctly. Now, what to listen to, so this is the question. So, always this is the question, what to listen to. Okay? So, lots of people, they have this question always, what to listen to learn how to speak correct and easy spoken English. Because our goal always is to speak English fluently. Our goal always is to speak English like the native people. Meaning, they speak English freely because it's their language. How to make their language my language and to be easy for me to speak. Okay? Now, so first thing about speaking, I have to listen. To listen to what? Now, first I listen to not academic videos. Now, it's not something from my CD or my audio or whatever. No, I listen to real life conversations. Like the videos we show you. Real life. These are normal conversations between normal people. Normal people are talking to each other, and this will help you a lot to learn nice and correct English. Okay, that's one of the things. So in the listening part, I listen to normal people talk. Now, how to learn vocabulary. Another question lots of people have. How to learn vocabulary. So this is another question lots of people have. Now, to learn vocabulary, always remember this. It's not about learning a lot of vocabulary. So, what's the meaning? I don't learn a lot of vocabulary I don't use. Because this is the problem. We always have lots of vocabulary inside, but we don't use them. So what's the purpose of that? So it's not about a lot of vocabulary. It's about enough vocabulary. So remember this correctly. It's enough. What do I mean by enough here? Enough here, my friends, enough vocabulary. Enough here means like I can deal with people in a normal way, in a good way, in an easy way. Even in your own language, sometimes some vocabularies are new for you. You hear something, okay, I've never heard that before. So, it happens in your language. So it might happen in English. But the difference between English and your language, in your language you know enough vocabulary. So it's about learning enough vocabulary. So I learn enough vocabulary so I can speak with people. Okay? So that's another thing. Now, how to be fluent? How to be fluent? And this is a very important thing. This is a very important question. How to be fluent? Okay. Why is it important? Because some people, they speak like this. Hello? How are you? Thank you. I'm fine. What's this? This is robot sound. Hello? How are you? Fine. Thank you. Robot sound. But you need to speak. Like when you meet someone, hello, how are you? You say, I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. Pretty well, thank you. You see, different vocabulary. Then after that, okay, how have you been? What are the recent things? You see, so I'm starting a conversation. I'm not speaking the robot sound. So to speak fluently, you need something important. What's that important thing? Okay, I have to think about what am I going to say. Not how will I say it. Meaning, I have to speak. The problem always in English that we have this obstacle. Okay, I'm afraid of making mistakes, so I don't speak. What? Me? No problem. We learn from our mistakes. So, like, there is a motto, a saying you can say, be a fool once is always. So, being a fool once is always better than staying a fool forever. So, that's an important thing. Okay? So, being a fool once is always better than staying a fool forever. What's that? Now, it's not true actually. Like, when you ask about something, that doesn't mean it. You are stupid or fool, so no problem. We learn. We're still learning. So ask. Like, for example, make a mistake. And the people will laugh at you. So what? Don't care for people. Like, that's a very important advice. You don't care for people. You care for yourself to speak. Make mistakes so you can learn. This is how you learn even to speak your own language. You started by making mistakes and the people are correcting you and laughing at you. Then you make a mistake, another mistake, then people correct you. So it's like this. So you need correction. You need people to correct you. So you need to speak so you can actually learn the correct thing. So to be fluent, I have to speak as much as I can. And with speaking comes another thing before listening. So I have to listen and speak, listen and speak. So it's important to have input so I can have a correct output. And I repeat the things again and again and again. Now let's watch the last video in our session today about how to speak fluent.